I'd like to introduce TimesTen Scaleout, which is a brand new scale-out in-memory database architecture now available with release 18.1 of the Oracle TimesTen in-memory database. My name is Tirthankar Lahiri, and I'm the Vice President of the Data and In-Memory Technologies team within the Oracle Database organization. I'd like to first quickly introduce the two complementary in-memory technologies we have within the Oracle Database stack. Within the application tier, we have the TimesTen in-memory database, which is really designed for latency-critical custom OLTP applications. TimesTen features microsecond response time and can be deployed both as a standalone database or as a cache for the Oracle database. Within the database tier, in fact, within the Oracle database itself, we have Oracle Database in-memory, which is a dual format in-memory database architecture intended primarily for real-time analytics. Oracle Database in-memory features billions of rows per second analytic data access speeds in order to enable real-time analytics on any data source. So two complementary technologies for two different use cases, TimesTen for latency-critical custom OLTP, and database in-memory really for real-time analytic workloads. So what is the Oracle TimesTen in-memory database? Oracle TimesTen in-memory database, first and foremost, is a standard relational database where the entire database lives in DRAM. It is fully ACID compliant, supports standard SQL and PL SQL languages, and supports standard database APIs such as the Oracle Call Interface, JDBC, ODP.NET, PHP, etc. Although TimesTen is in memory, it is a fully persistent and fully recoverable database. All the database data is stored persistently in database files and log files, and the database features standard checkpointing and logging mechanisms for durability and recovers automatically after failures. TimesTen is really, really fast. It provides microsecond response times and extremely high throughputs, which is why it is used widely for latency-critical custom OLTP applications. TimesTen also features sophisticated high availability. It employs replication that can be configured to be either active standby or multi-master. The replication mechanism itself is high performance and parallel and can be used both for high availability within a site as well as disaster recovery across sites. For all these reasons, TimesTen is a very widely used relational database for OLTP workloads. It is deployed literally by thousands of companies in many, many different industries. As you can see from the slide, TimesTen is used in many different verticals, including financial services, including telecommunications, and retail. So it's a very widely used database. It's been available since 1998 and has a very good reputation as an enterprise-grade, very sophisticated relational database engine. So what is TimesTen Scaleout? TimesTen Scaleout is a new feature in TimesTen release 18.1. It takes that proven TimesTen technology and scales it out to multiple hosts for even greater performance and greater high availability. TimesTen Scaleout is again designed for that extreme OLTP high velocity application category. Things like IoT, financial trading, telecommunications billing, clickstream, fraud detection, real time, etc. It is a performance-oriented, cloud-optimized scale-out design. Again, it is purely in memory, just like TimesTen, supports full SQL, ACID transactions, and provides scale-out with fault tolerance. All the nodes in this architecture are fully active for reads and writes, and it supports multiple copies of data for high availability. Because it is based on that sophisticated, time-tested TimesTen technology, it also supports sophisticated and parallel SQL for reporting and batch operations. TimesTen Scaleout is also extremely easy to install and operate. It takes literally less than 15 minutes to install the TimesTen Scaleout software, deploy a TimesTen Scaleout database, and have a running application on that TimesTen Scaleout database. So very, very simple product to manage, install, deploy, and run applications on. It is a scale-out, shared nothing, in-memory database architecture featuring high availability and elasticity. It appears as a single image database to applications. Applications do not need any kind of sharding or partitioning. It is elastic. You can add and remove nodes from this architecture, and the data is automatically redistributed, and the workload automatically will use any new nodes that are added to the configuration. TimesTen Scaleout features what we call built-in high availability, using fully active copies of nodes. And these node copies are automatically kept in sync as transactions run without requiring any application intervention. So it is a scale-out, shared nothing, and fault-tolerant in-memory database architecture. How is the data in TimesTen laid out across this scale-out configuration? TimesTen gives you a choice of 3 different ways of spreading your data across this scale-out architecture. The first option is to distribute tables, especially when you have very large tables. Imagine the customer table of a giant online retailer like Amazon.com, a table that is too big to fit in any one node. Such a table you want to distribute across the nodes, and in TimesTen Scaleout, you do that by the hash of a distribution key, which in this case would be the customer ID of the customer table. Next is co-location. Customers place orders, and it's desirable to keep the order data for a customer co-located with that customer table row. So co-location says, I would like to be co-located with my parent table so that locality of access is maximized. So the parent data, the customer data, and the order data can be accessed together on the same nodes without requiring remote communication. The third distribution choice is what we call duplication. When you have a small read-mostly table that is accessed a lot in the application, it is desirable to keep such a table on all the nodes for maximum locality. A good example of such a table could be the price list, which typically isn't that large, but is accessed by many, many operations. So that table you want to duplicate on all the nodes of that scale-out configuration. And these 3 deployment data distribution options pretty much cover the needs of all deployments. Big data, large tables you want to keep on all the nodes by distribution by hash. Related data you want to keep on all the nodes through co-location. And small read-mostly hot data you want to keep on every single node. TimesTen Scaleout is foremost about extreme performance, and 144 million transactions a second is pretty extreme. This is using TimesTen's own telecommunications benchmark, known as the Telecommunications Provider Throughput Benchmark, which has shipped with the TimesTen database for the last 10 plus years, running in an 80-20 read-to-write ratio. And this was run on the Oracle Cloud using 64 standard host configurations. Astonishing performance from standard hardware running on Oracle Cloud. Now, if you take that same benchmark, a read-only variation of that workload achieves a truly breathtaking 1.2 billion SQL selects per second. This is unheard of performance. A single database that can execute 1.2 billion distinct SQL statements per second. Again, running on that same Oracle Cloud configuration on 64 hosts. So it gives you an idea of the extreme performance limits of TimesTen Scaleout to enable these extremely performance sensitive OLTP workloads. We have some very positive feedback from early customers who tried the beta version of the product. Samsung said the TimesTen Scaleout is a very attractive solution for the next generation of network systems. China Mobile tried out TimesTen Scaleout as well during the beta. They found it to be a unique architecture, and they look forward to using it in the next generation distributed real-time billing system. Most recently, Chongqing Mobile, which is a China Mobile subsidiary, actually went live with TimesTen Scaleout within a very short time. They ran a POC on TimesTen Scaleout, and within 2 weeks, they had moved their marketing service system onto TimesTen Scaleout with no application changes. The system improved performance significantly, as I said, by more than 3x. They were also able to support more application functionality, more business logic, because of the increased performance and throughput capacity of the system. And are very happy customers, the first customer to go production with TimesTen Scaleout. So that's all I had for today. I wanted to very quickly summarize what I just said. TimesTen Scaleout is now available. It's now production. It is the next generation Scaleout architecture for extreme OLTP workloads. It's designed for SQL OLTP applications. It provides high availability with automatic failover and recovery. It is based on that time-tested, battle-hardened, enterprise-grade TimesTen technology, which is very widely deployed and therefore supports all the advanced functionality of TimesTen. It has a lot of customer interest. We have a strong pipeline of customer interest. Should see a lot more deployments and POCs and go lives in the next few months. There is a ton of information on the TimesTen blog. Please go there to receive the most current updates, information, and please send any comments you might have to the email addresses you'll find on the blog. That's all I had for now. Thank you very much for watching.